For the digital drawing, we'll be using sketch.io. And here you have your artboard. I'll take you through some of the tools as we get started. First of all, click the plus for new. And since my soap dispenser is taller than it is wide, I'm going to first set my units to inches, and I'm going to make it 4 inches by 6 inches high. If you have more of a square object or you need a square shape, you could do 4 by 4 or 6 by 6 on a blank artboard, and I'm going to click create. So here I have my artboard. On the right, I have my zoom, so I can zoom in and out. And if you ever do want to resize your artboard, you can go to crop and resize and change that. Here I have my drawing tools. Right now calligraphy is selected, but if you click on that, you have a lot of different options for how your texture or drawing tool works. So here's the crayon. I'm going to be mostly using the line tool and the path tool. And the path tool is neat because you can click and let go. Move your mouse, click again and let go. Move your mouse, click again, let go. You can make completed shapes or you can just make lines. If you want to close the path, you can click close path and it completes the whole shape with the path that you were drawing. Otherwise, if you are done drawing something and you want to end it, you can go down here and click finish editing and then it will stop the shape, or you can just click enter and then it will stop drawing. You don't just have to draw with straight edges though. If you click and let go and then click and hold, you can drag your mouse and create a curve. These little lines that are coming off with the square is the handle. So I can make my curve, let go, click. If I click and hold again, I can create another curve. If I click and let go, then I can create sharp edges. This will be helpful when you are drawing your object for your pop art project. I'm going to click enter so I stop drawing. So I have a lot of different shapes here. So the path is what I'll mainly be using. Line is similar, but you are just creating straight lines. Or you can hold down and it will create a very, very complicated line and hit enter. So you have a lot of different edges. The path is helpful because you can show smoother lines. If you go up to the select tool, that will allow you to edit things that you already have drawn. So I can go up here and I can see that I can move around different objects that I drew. I can click to resize them. If I don't hold down shift, I skew and change the proportions, but if I hold down shift, it stays the same proportions. You can see I have a lot of different stuff going on here. And so if you go over to the right section on your layers, you can see all the different things that you've added. I can see my crayon drawing, which is right here. I can drag to move it. If I want to delete it, I can click delete. I can also title things as well to help keep things organized. Your layers are going to be very important for keeping your artwork organized. So I can click, double click, and I can title this triangle. Now I know that this is my triangle. If I ever want to make it invisible, I can click the eyeball. So I can find out, okay, what's this? It's right here. Maybe I don't want it. I can just click delete. So I can delete some objects as well. Now I have a clean background. I just have my background with no layers. The next tool down is the rectangle tool or the shape tool, and you can choose different shapes. And you can edit those. You could fill them in with a color, or you could not have them filled in and just have an outline of the shape instead. You can change the line width. It gives you a preview. The roundness of your shape, so I can make it more of a circle or more of a square. And then you can also have a cutout like a donut. So I can click and drag to make the size of my shape. I can move it. I can change the line width. I can have a real donut shape here. I could fill it in with different colors or set no color, and I can even change the outline as well. Or have no outline and just have it filled in. And again, I can click to resize it, hold down Shift. If I don't hold down Shift, I can skew it more so as well. Your text tool, if you have any writing that you want to type out, you can choose your font and you can edit how the text looks with a fill or an outline as well. The fill tool is what you can use to fill in different shapes. And so we are first going to start with uploading the photo of our artwork by clicking Clip Art. And I'm going to click Load My Own Image. I have my soap drawing here that I created, and it loads it in here. If I click my layers, I have my background. I'm going to name my layers right away, double click, soap. Now the next step is to use your path tool to start tracing. Zoom in nice and close, and you can click to drag, and start by just drawing some of the main lines that you see, and you can add your detail a little bit later by using the path tool. I'm going to set my pixels, let's see what 3 looks like. I'll set my pixels to 3. I don't want to fill in anything right now because we are going to be adding in the color later so that we have really fun, bright colors like the pop artist. So have a path, a nice outline, however thick you want, and then you can start by clicking. If you have a curve, remember to click and drag to trace over your shape. If you want to be done drawing, you can either go down here and click Finish Editing or just hit Enter and it will stop drawing for you if you need to start a new drawing. And I can see that I have a few different paths going on here. This is the bottom of the pump. This is the top of the pump. It might be helpful to label what you're drawing. If you're in the middle of drawing a path, you can edit. These are called the anchor points. So if I made a mistake with my shape, I can click on it. I can actually move the little blue handle and edit it while I'm still drawing it. And then I can continue, hit enter when I'm done. So as you're drawing different paths, before you finish them or hit enter, you can edit those as well. If there's something you don't like, you can always click undo. I didn't like how that curve was, so I'm going to experiment with just curving down here, see if I like that better. It does take a lot of just experimenting and practicing to get a feel for how the mouse works and how everything works. I'm moving to my line tool to make my straight lines, and I noticed that it's a little bit thinner and I want it the same thickness, so I'm going to change that to 3 pixels as I'm drawing these lines. Because I want the word soap to be on a curve, I decided to trace over it with my path tool instead of using text. I'm going to delete this layer by clicking the 3 dots, and I'm going to draw an oval instead because I like how that looked. If you want to move multiple shapes at once, you can hold down Shift and select multiple layers so you can drag those to where you want. I finished my drawing. So now what you don't need is to keep your clip art picture. So scroll all the way down and you can delete your clip art. Click delete. And now you just have your drawing. Think about if there's any other details you feel like you need to add to fill up the space. Otherwise, you are ready to start adding color now. First, I'm going to go down to this file and click open, and I'm going to select my plain line drawing and click duplicate. You need 4 separate drawings, and so you can duplicate it. We are going to be using the fill tool down here. And before you start adding color, think about how you can mimic Andy Warhol's style. Here's the picture of his soup cans with the colors that you choose. Look at some of these images and what do you notice about the color schemes? Right away, I noticed that he used complementary colors. Here's orange and blue, and green and red, which are complementary colors. He used also different versions of a red orange and kind of a bluish green or a light blue. A tool that I like to use when I'm trying to choose color schemes is Adobe Color, and it's an interactive color wheel. You can play around with different colors that you see. If you go down to complementary, they have different complementary color schemes that you can use if you're looking for more of a unique color scheme. Find some colors that you like, and you can come up with 4 different color schemes for the 4 different copies of the artwork that you're going to make. I am going to start with a blue-green and a red-orange. I kind of liked this sort of color scheme. You can go back to your sketchpad, and now you are going to go to Pixel Fill, and you can click on the block of color here and choose what color you want to use. Start with a base color, and then you can always click down here and change it and to select your own unique color. I'm going to look for a bluish green, and I'm going to just start clicking and filling it in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit also. Have my color chosen, and I'm going to click, and it will fill in the areas that are all the same pixel color. So because this whole section is white within my black outline, it fills it in. So I'm going to alternate different colors by clicking carefully, and if you accidentally make a mistake, you click out there and you don't want to, just click undo. That did not work. Well, I'm just going to fill it in white then, because for some reason it didn't undo for me and I don't want it that color. So now I'm trying to go back to my turquoise color that I chose, and if you don't remember the exact color formula, which, fun fact, if you go to your color wheel and you copy this formula, you should be able to paste it in, Control V, and it will paste in that color. So this was actually the color from my color wheel. It's slightly different. I do like my greenish color a little bit better. I'm going to go back and use my eyedropper tool to select this color. I don't know what happened there, so I'm going to delete that. Let's try that again. Go to my Pixel Fill, my eyedropper tool, and there we go. I'm going to click that. So now that color is selected, and I'm going to add it in a few more sections by double clicking. I have to get in really close to fill in those sections between the letters. So here I accidentally colored in all of my black lines. So because for some reason I can't undo, I'm just going to go and select that last pixel fill that I did and delete it. So that's why the layers are helpful as well. You can go back in and delete something if you messed up. Alright, I think I'm going to stick with this. I played around with some color combinations, and I'm going to use this for one of my designs. What you'll need to do next, once you have your drawing all complete, you will click Export and download JPEG. I'm going to type in SOAP 1, save it to my desktop. So I have 1 drawing done right now, and I need to create 3 more. Open your next black and white drawing and continue experimenting with color schemes. I have my next drawing done. with my color, and so I'm going to do the same thing I did before and click export, download JPEG, title it Soap 2, and save it to my desktop. Now I have my 2 soap drawings done, and I just need to create 2 more. I'm going to think about what colors I have missing. I think I want to add some violets and a little bit more, maybe a little bit more yellow. I'm done with my last soap bottle, and so I will export this as well. And then I will place all 4 images into one composition, just like Andy Warhol did using Google Drawing. And I have a new drawing here. I'm going to change the page setup because I need to make it a custom size. Since all of my images are 4 inches wide and 6 inches high, I need to double that. This is the width, so I need 8 inches wide and I need 12 inches tall. And if you are able to, you can drag from your desktop to add your images in. Otherwise, you can click on Insert, Image, Upload from your computer, and I'm going to upload each one of these, or you can drag. Once you get them the correct size to fill up the board nicely, then you can arrange them into a color pattern that looks good together. So I think I want my cool colors or cooler colors separated from each other, so I might move this one up here just so that they're a little bit further apart. Play around with how you want your colors lined up, and then you are ready to title your artwork, and then you are all set.